Nah, it's fine. How's it going?
That's all good, man. To drive.
Well, I play IBK Sports, our producer Wale. Please have a seat. Thank you so much for.
How's it going now?
All good, man. All good.
Been in the country for a while, or just came in like recently?
I got in this morning.
This morning.
Yeah, I got in this morning. So, but I was obviously here last time for Will.
For truce, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's truce, yeah.
Sorry.
I was there for that.
Sorry,
so,
a few clips.
But yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, good to have you
I'm trying
on
to do,
the show.
I'm trying to do a bit more stuff over here now. So I don't know if you've seen any of my things, but in the UK, I've obviously got the pod there. So
counter attack.
Counter attack, yeah. So
seen a few clips.
Yeah, so I used to play football.
Yeah.
Over there, here, for a bit.
We know.
Yeah.
We know who you are.
Yeah. So, but now obviously.
Hi, good evening. How's it going? Yeah. See you again. Hello. IBK. You be like say.
I saw you.
The last time I was
Okay,
there,
came
yes,
with
I was the one that was coming with that. You were best.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I didn't let you ask your
Last question, yes.
Who was the one that was sitting
Yeah,
there?
it was one I was saying.
Yeah, okay, you were around that.
Yeah,
you were around that.
you were the one sitting there?
Yeah.
And your head was exploded.
Oh, really? It's normal.
It's normal.
Wale Alpha. So yeah, that was he's introducing himself. He's saying, I play football there and here. Bro, we know who you are. You know, we know exactly who you are. And I saw your documentary.
Son of the Soil.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the things that were said on there, I thought it was brilliant that you brought like the guys on the ground. You know, the documentary had the vice captain of Sunshine Stars at the time, Alaba. Yeah, I don't know if he's still the. He's and the guy really said. What really caught my attention was the guy spoke with a lot of freedom. We don't normally get them to speak with that much freedom.
A lot of them are not even that expressive.
And even when they want to, because of the terrain, they don't want to get in trouble with anybody, so they usually don't speak that freely.
The clubs are linked with the government, so
exactly.
It's almost like every time you're speaking, you're almost a representative of the government. So you have to be very wary of the things you say.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it was easier because former player. Number two, like they called me indigent because my dad and my eyes from there.
Okay,
it's
fine.
easier to go in. Like if I'd gone to Bielsa, it wouldn't.
It would have been off course.
It would have happened. But I'm just happy that he was able to give his input.
That was interesting. Man, Nigerian football is not.
So do you still follow the league?
I follow as much as I can. I follow as much as I can. I think it's easier now because they've got the
start time things.
They've got that, and I'm cool with the guys that
I think the media guys,
I'm cool
independent journalists and the rest pushing the.
No, I'm talking about the actual people that broadcast it. They've got what are they called, man? I've forgotten what they're called.
Broadcast rights.
Yeah. So
is it
GTI?
So
GTI.
and I'm cool with them guys, so it's easier to
GTI
to know, but it could still get better. But it's come a long way. It's come when I was playing, it was just maybe one match on DSTV. They pick one match, and that's the one that they're going to show.
True.
So it's come.
This is the pod. I don't know what you're doing.
That time it was Glow Premier League also.
At the time it was, I used to think that with DSTV, with Super Sports, that it would take our league from here to here.
Yeah.
But apparently the people, and I don't want to be caught on camera, but the people who run our football,
you need to take it. We just came off the back.
Exactly.
I was going to talk about that. I saw you guys were getting some heat.
We're going to try and touch on that on the show today. So on this table we
Bandana hipster.
They called us hipsters. Oh my god. Hipsters. Oh my god.
Are we rolling?
Yeah, I think we're recording. Even though that's what we try to do, we try not to make it mechanical. Try to be as organic as possible. In all of the conversation that went on Twitter, they called us bandana wearing hipsters. Somebody said you people just sit in your AC chilled rooms. All sorts. the only thing that I'm happy about, nobody could say,
that we chat shit.
That what you guys do is not good enough.
Yeah,
your work is mediocre. Nobody could say that.
We live in a country where we live in a country, and sadly, and I said it in the group chat. I said it that it's sad because we live in a country where when you criticize people, when you criticize people, they take offense. I saw Paul Merson talk about Granit Xhaka. He said that lad has got some balls. Playing for Arsenal. The Unai Emery period where things were going downhill, and the fans turned on him.
Yeah.
Xhaka was packing his bags and leaving. Arteta came, convinced him. He kept his head. When Arteta was leaving, it almost felt like when Xhaka was leaving, it almost felt like he was living like a legend.
Like almost. He left like a legend.
Because he kept. So he was talking about the England players. He said the players are moaning. You're getting criticized for not performing at the levels you're expected to, and you're getting offended. Bellingham, all these boys, they are getting offended. In this business, you're not going to go very far if you haven't got a thick skin.
Absolutely.
You're not going to go very far. And that happens in Nigeria as a whole. So you criticize a politician for not doing something, it calls you a hater. You tell people you've got to do your job a lot better than that. And that's what happened on Sunday. You didn't feel like, what? When we sit here, we do a lot of banters. We do a lot of laps. We're not necessarily saying, "Oh, you're
you
shit."
Guys are not, exactly.
We're not saying that. We're not saying you're absolutely you're trash or something.
So what was the main gripe that people actually had with that?
What they had was because we're laughing.
So I think this is it. I think this is because I spoke with a lot of guys. I think the fact that they misunderstood the whole concept, and let's just break it down. Inyobong started with the fact that
you had to bring me in.
He made mention of coaches, how they answer questions.
No, I actually started with the journalists.
I think you started with the journalists.
I started with the journalists who asked absolutely ridiculous
now,
questions. And I'm saying it again.
Now this is it.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Now this is it. I think I was talking to him and I said that in the Yoruba way, as a Yoruba guy that I am, when you want to scold people, you like your pops now will be like, "Oh, Rufai, you are doing so well, you are making a lot of money, you are doing well, but go and marry." You understand? Now that go and marry, you won't talk normal. But you go first talk, say So I think I won't say it was a mistake, because we've always praised a lot of independent, content creators in the Nigerian Professional Football League. We have a lot of videos, and it was just unfortunate that the aspect where we were talking about the deficiencies of the league was the one that got the whole vibes and all.
So here's the thing. Here's my own perspective. It was simple, right? We just made, it was a joke. We talked about journalists asking, not too solid questions at the end of games.
Smart.
And coaches, not too smart questions. And coaches also answering in not too smart ways. And then
is it journalists or some?
Some actually.
I think that was that.
And then commentators, with how they also would round off games. It was basically a joke. We didn't call anybody's name.
But do you know what it is as well? What? Because I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think the flip side of that is that, and it's like a double-edged sword, because
Absolutely.
you want to be successful doing what you're doing.
Yep.
But then you also have a platform. And because you now have a platform, and this ain't no small platform, because you now have a platform, it's almost like what you say is gospel to a lot of people. And a lot of people, they don't have their own mind. So even though I watched it and then I was looking and I was on you guys' side, it's a joke. But some people just look at it and just be like, but what are you doing? What are you doing? So it's that whole thing of having a platform and then, knowing when to speak and when to not speak.
You know what, Dapo? I absolutely appreciate the fact that we have a different perspective. Because honestly, the moment you took it from me, I was like, I would really love to hear if you're going to criticize us and say maybe that wasn't good enough. And we take criticism as well. Sometimes we drop episodes. There are people in the comment section saying, "This guy, you don't know what you're saying. You don't know what you're talking about." It happens, right?
I talked about thick skin, and we always say having a skin in the game. We say that a lot. And there are times that I do a lot of predictions. I'm famed for it. I've got a few predictions here.
When it goes well, it goes well.
It goes
when
well.
it goes wrong,
it goes horribly wrong.
Who's winning the Euros, first of all?
Who's winning the Euros?
Who's winning the Euros?
Who's winning the Euros? Germany.
Quick prediction. Okay, cool. Continue.
So, people come in the comment section and they absolutely live it. They say some unprintable things to you. And unprintable, things I wouldn't, honestly, they won't say to your face.
Of course.
So you look at it and like, water on.
Yeah.
It just.
You don't
like,
dwell on it.
You don't dwell on those things, That's why you have thick skin in the game. If you're going to take everything someone says to you, just like, people say, wow, you're brilliant at what you do. I hear that 1,000 times, and I'm not being arrogant. I hear that 1,000 times, and I've never quite gone home and said, wow, they said he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Never, because while I appreciate you telling me I'm good at what I do, it's something that I soul search a lot.
I don't even like hearing that, to be honest. I don't like hearing it, to be honest.
But it's a normal thing. People will like what you do. Even on radio, I host a radio show and they send me messages and like, oh, you were so. I don't read those messages out. There's a reason I don't. Because I don't particularly pay attention to them.
Yeah.
So when you criticize me, it's quite different. When you criticize me for doing something wrong, or the first question I ask myself is, what did I do wrong? If I find out I didn't do well, how many times have I apologized on this show and said, you know what? I hold my hands up.
Yeah, one time we apologize. I was waiting. I didn't get it.
So I quite understand when people get in their feelings.
You're human. At the end of the day, you're human, and I'm with you. When I first started like doing the whole podcast thing, it was never my thing to do media. But obviously there was a gap where I can now go and talk to players and whatever. Cool. And I'm someone that a normal person cannot just come and
say nonsense.
Say nonsense to me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So then I remember I was doing a podcast, and as the podcast was going, I was getting loads and loads of comments. Sorry. Me, I should even know this. So yeah, cool. So as the podcast was going, I was getting loads and loads of good comments, and then I noticed the more you do this, you don't even pay attention to the comments anymore. But you get that one. But let me just Sambi Lokonga.
Yeah,
I had Sambi Lokonga on my podcast, and then the comments were so good. Listen, this was my guy. So the comments were so good. There was one comment that said, "This guy doesn't know what he's talking about." I ignored all the other. I didn't say anything to all those people. That one person. Yeah, I gave him. Yeah, exactly. Just that one person. But then you have to look at yourself and just be like, why? Why?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think first of all, guys, let's just hold it for a bit. If it would be criminal not to properly introduce who we have on the show today. It is important that we do that. If you're watching us right now, obviously
we got excited.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. If you're watching right now, guys, obviously it's the Hindsight Podcast and special special show today because we've got a special guest, Dapo Abitogun. That's the right pronunciation, right? Former
Yoruba now, you should know this.
I'm just trying to be,
It's so funny because you're saying it. I'm not used to people saying it the proper way.
Yeah.
So in English, it's Dapo Abitogun.
I mean, former Sunshine Stars.
Yes.
Watford, Wycombe. Good to have you on the show. It's a pleasure.
Can I correct you?
Yeah, go on.
Wycombe.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything. I wasn't gonna say anything.
We take criticism. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you, Senior. I mean, it's such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Today, and I'm gonna start off because we've talked about you're now a podcaster. You've got one, out there in the UK. You're doing very well. You're talking to players who are playing currently, and people want to hear you talk about these things because you've played the game, you've walked the talk. I think that's the most important part of it, right? Where the first one of the biggest criticism that football analysts get is, what do you know about it?
Yeah.
If you haven't played football journalists, you haven't played the game.
If you haven't played the game. And I think for you, that's why what you have to say is very, very important, right? And I've got to start, first of all, just to give us a bit of a timeline as to, your time actively in the game. You were at Sunshine, at some point at Watford, at Wycombe. how did that go? Is it after your time in England you came to Sunshine? Or
yeah. So I didn't get signed until I was 21. I'm 36 now.
Wow.
I'm 36 now. So I didn't get signed until I was 21. But before then, I was playing in England. We have non-league. Yeah. So okay. I'm happy you guys. So we have non-league. So I was playing non-league, semi-professional, and going to.
What club was that?
St Albans.
St Albans.
Yeah. A club called St
in
Albans.
National League North or South these days. I follow the non-league a little bit. Yeah,
I couldn't even tell you what league they're in now. So I was there. I was going to university, and then obviously I was just playing, and then one day I went for pre-season. St Albans and Watford are in the same area, so they will play each other every year. And then I had a game against Watford, and their manager just looked at me. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then literally, I don't even know. 2 weeks later, I was training up to Watford, but I never ever made any first team appearances for Watford. So let me just put that out there now. But then after that, went to Wycombe, had loan spells at Gillingham, and then I'd been in and around football. It was going well, but then I got like a little dip. And just to make this really, really quick, my dad lives in Akure. And he's a politician there.
Yeah.
And for years they were asking me, come and play, come and play.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why would I leave England to go and play in Nigeria? So then it got to the point I was like, do you know what? He was asking me, they were speaking good money, and which is another thing I was surprised by. Like
how good the money was.
I don't think people realize the money that is in the Nigerian Premier League for certain players.
I
don't think people.
The issue is sorry. A lot of them purposely don't let you put it out there because you know the environment.
I get that. So around about that time, they asked me to come back, and I said, you know what, let me go. So I went there, and I was there for a year and a half. Got voted team of the season. Everything was going well, and then and if I'm being totally honest with you guys, in terms of natural talent, of anyone that I've ever touched a football pitch with, I've not seen anything like in Nigeria. Like natural talent.
Natural, yeah.
Like me, I'm good at football, obviously, but natural talent, I couldn't touch any of the players on my team.
Wow.
But
really?
No. I've had some really. So at the time, I'm talking about back then I was a midfielder. So the midfielders were just, you can't even.
It was quality.
Yeah, it's quality. So I had Godfrey
Obabona.
Yes.
It was in the Super Eagles at
that
point. Yeah.
So that was after the Confederations. Can you remember the Confederations Cup? Was it Confederations?
Was it AFCON? AFCon.
No.
He played in AFCon.
And he locked up Cavani.
Yeah.
So it was around about that time. So when he came back, he was there. Who else was there for a bit? Kenneth Omaruro's brother was there. But so anyway, so did that, and then played, and it was just where I killed them was with coaching, because I've been coached. I've been coached. So
that's the point you were trying to.
Yeah, that's the point. So as much as they had all the ability in the world, I've been coached.
Yeah.
And you don't realize
that makes a big difference.
No. Even, and this is no disrespect, my manager at the time was Fatai Amu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was my manager, and anyways, it's no secret I didn't really. It's not that I didn't get along with him, but I just didn't think he knew what he was talking about. Yeah. And his coaching was just, I'm so used to everything being
organized and
tactical,
but then strategical.
I come here and they're like, oh, you get there and you just do one pull out. I was like, what's
one pull out?
What's one pull out? What? And I was just like, what's the meaning of?
I never understood what pull out meant.
Do you know what? It's interesting because I wanted you to be done with a quick chat of how we went. And, one of the first questions I wanted to ask you was, how you came up in terms of what grassroots football was like in the UK.
Yeah.
Before we then come back to Nigerian football, because I played grassroots football in Nigeria, and I remember the very first. No, not the first. I think the second coach I had ever grassroots. I think I was like 11, 12 at the time. I can tell you, even as a young guy, I knew that my coach didn't know anything. Because why? Every day we get to training.
Is he still alive?
I'm not mentioning names. Every time we get to training, it's about just jog.
Yeah.
You people should do 5 laps around the field. When you are done, Nuruddin was our captain. Nuruddin, you stretch them, stretch. Once you are done stretching, okay, you pick one team here, pick one team there. Yeah, let's play. Bro, like this brother doesn't know. I was 11, 12. That's when you really, really learn. You go from just playing. You're about to go from just playing for fun to start learning, tactical things about the game. How you should set up. And when you don't have that, go back. It's interesting that you mentioned that even with our league. But let's go back to one of the things I wanted to ask you. When you talk about, football development, you touched on that now. What do you think? Obviously, you talk about what was lacking in the NPFL.
Yeah.
With my own experience here, I've always felt like there's a lot of similarities with, young players in Nigeria and the UK. I've always felt like the only difference was, you have a more structured environment there. You have clubs who have really organized academies, feeders teams. So you have a lot of rooms, or should I say factories, for the ones of a better word, that these young talented players can go into and go learn the trade. That's what I always feel like the difference was. So what was it like exactly? How does it work out there in the UK? If say to simplify it, let's chart the course of say an 8-year-old that's looking to get into football. What's the journey like?
Okay, so this is a very easy question for me. So in one of my group chats now, I've got a load of coaches. Like, we're all friends, but we've all come up. Yeah. Some are ex-players, some are not. And, a load of them are academy managers. So let me use Lambeth Tigers. They're this academy team in South London. Yeah. Players can go there from the ages of 6 all the way up to 14. All the way up to 14. And, they've got coaches at every, they play games against, other academies. They play games against some pro teams. They go to all of these invitationals. And I don't think that's something necessarily that's here, and that's just one of them. Do you get what I'm saying? And then from there you get a load of clubs who now go into these academies or these youth clubs and then actually look into them and try and pick this player, pick that player. Lambeth Tigers, I can't even tell you the amount of people that have come from that. Jadon Sancho
came from Lambeth.
Sancho.
Yeah. Wow. Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson. One more. Eze was there for a bit. There's so many opportunities for young players to make that transition into and even if they don't go into the pro clubs, you got non-league, you got semi-pro, you got so League One, you got there's so many. Like me, I wasn't brought up in an academy, but because I was playing non-league, because I was visible, I was still able to be seen and then make a career and
Okay, so let me just come in here, and it's good that you've played in the league. And it's good that you know what the Premier League Championship looks like. So what do you think Nigerian Professional League needs to do to attract investors?
Infrastructure, easy. Infrastructure, that's such an easy one. It's changed now a bit. Yeah. And but like when I was there, I remember from Akure we travelled by road. Yeah. So I remember we had a game. Standard. And I'm not used to, you know what I mean? Like even young, we had coaches from young. Here, I remember we had my first away game was against Kaduna. United. Yeah, it was against Kaduna. And they were like, yeah, we're going. So I'm expecting, yes, coach, let's go. I went on minibus, they put the seat down. I'm sitting in the middle like this. I'm sitting in the middle like for all those hours. And I'm just like, no player that's played over there is going to come and, look at that. Here. Do you know what I mean? And we're looking at healthcare. I remember there was a person on my team that got injured, and it should have been a simple injury but they put his foot in one cast, and the way they did the cast, it caused more damage, and what he should have been out for a month, he was out for 7 months. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, it's just, all of that is just not. And then this is going to be a controversial one. I think culture. So and I'm not saying it's right, I'm not saying it's wrong, but I can talk to my managers. Yeah. Like, not like friends, but I can talk to them.
Talk to them. Like.
Here,
you're like father.
You have to
proceed.
You have to, do you know what I mean? And it's not like a team. It's not teamwork. It's more like do as you're told. And if the person that is telling you what to do is not even good or competent at what it is, then it builds that. I remember my first press conference here. The commissioner came. The commissioner of the state came. And the governor came to give us pep talk and be like, you guys have to do that. And it's almost like, okay, this is it. Footballers here are not seen as the prize.
As professionals.
Yeah, they're not seen as the prize.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, a random official on the team can come and talk to me anyhow. And I'm just, okay, thank you, okay. Imagine you insult me, I have to say thank you. Like,
you mentioned quite a number of these issues in your documentary.
Yeah,
about the politics that surrounds football here. Have you guys seen the documentary?
No, you should.
Now I want to see it.
No. So one more thing. I remember, and I said it in the doc, that because Sunshine was controlled by the state.
Yeah, by the state.
If the state or whatever going through issues, it affects
directly.
It affects you.
Absolutely.
There's politics everywhere, but in Nigerian football, the politics affects the team.
And when I say politics, it's real politics. Imagine Labour and Conservative and Tories having an impact on Arsenal. It can't happen. Whereas over here, whoever the leading party is has a say when it comes to the team because the team is owned by the government.
I remember there was election going on.
Footballers are civil servants.
I remember there was an election going on, and no one knew what was going on.
Yeah.
I was just like, I've signed my contract, I'm good. When my money came and I looked at the alert, you know, they give you alerts. We don't get that in the thing. They give you alert. I saw half my salary. I said, how can they
What's going on?
I said, I went there with my contract. I said, look, I've got a contract. They looked at me and said,
This in-it boy, what is he saying now?
So stuff like that.
I think from your time till now, I think the positive I can bring out from all this is the fact that we have.
You had to go there, I understand.
With
everything that happened last week.
No. Apart from that, no, bro. We have private-owned clubs now.
Yeah.
I think we must commend Remo Stars, to be honest.
Of course.
Yeah.
The way he has been able to structure, like, it was looking as if a private-owned clubs cannot survive in the league.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at 10 years back, you probably look at, there's a way they will stifle you out of the old system because most of these clubs are government-owned and you can't get it done.
Yeah.
Yes, I think you might even say the man eventually played politics, but he did it the right way. And I can tell you for free that the standard now for every club in Nigeria is Remo Stars.
I mean,
you know,
no doubt there's been improvements. There's been
players
lots
complain
of
salary
improvements. My problem is that I'm rarely able to applaud you if I know that you have the capacity to move 10 yards, but you're moving just half a yard.
Yeah.
So there's been improvements, no doubt. But I feel like, because now, even with Remo Stars, one thing that would never sit well with my soul is this thing that they throw around very flimsily about them selling their slots. You know, football should be on merits. You play the NNL,
which
qualify,
is the second tier.
which is the second tier.
You
qualify to
NPFL,
play in the top flight. And the team and the team owners, I don't know the circumstance around it. I don't know what's happening.
They say they don't have the funds to.
And then they sell the slots.
A top flight season.
They sell the slot to someone else, and the person go play.
They almost like hawk the slot. So they almost like put it in the market and say.
So then they still stay.
They remain.
They remain. Like,
so that I would never understand it. I would never understand what happens there, the circumstance, what sort of conversation.
The biggest problem we have in our league, the biggest problem, from my perspective, will always be, the ownership of the clubs.
Yeah.
Government. And I'm not afraid to say that anything run by the government doesn't function, doesn't work well. Anything run by the government, I'm not afraid to say. There's nothing working in this country that is run by the government. Nothing, not one.
You did flush your house.
You can quote me. There's nothing, So, if you take football off, when we talk about the real players in the industry of football, you see these clubs are managed by. You see the clubs are managed by. Let's not even go to Europe. Let's stay with Africa. Look at what South Africa doing. Look at Algeria, Egypt. Some of these guys, I've told you guys the story before. There's a guy who played for Aqua United. He got a deal with the Tunisian club and he went. Turned out that they won a game and his match bonus is almost a 6-month salary at Aqua United. His match bonus was a 6-month salary.
Not the real salary.
Match bonus, as in match winning bonus.
Yeah,
in Tunisia.
Yeah.
He calls the media officer of Akwa United and was swearing for the guy. So now you're useless league. You know, and when we say these things, we're not saying it to run down the league.
Yeah.
You know, we're just saying that we can do a lot better.
Do you know another question I want to ask?
Definitely.
I mean, there's this. I don't know if it's a prejudice or a stereotype. People believe that it is only African players who play the game, or Nigerian players who play the game solely for the money. Now, you've been in England. Is that true?
No, I think what I will say is that money is more of a deciding factor with African players. But I understand it because of where they're coming from.
Yeah, of course.
So a load of, I remember my teammates, as much as, let's say everyone's earning X amount of money, we're all in the same place. We are very different.
Absolutely.
I had the privilege of being able to, we had a break. I could go back to London. They would go back to whatever village
to their
or
families,
or town that they're from. And I remember one player saying to me, he said to me, Dapo, I was like, yeah, he's like, just carry me to go London. I'll do a cleaning job. Oof. And I said, you're a footballer, I said, if you play well, you can go to any of, but that's my mentality because in England, money isn't, you play to be the best. You play to
not to earn anything.
Not to change your, and then you obviously want to, you get to the stage where you might have family and you want to better your, but it's never like the main thing. Whereas over here, like I said, but I get it. So I can't even be mad at them. But that one did make me think, wow. I'm in Nigeria thinking, you could go and play, for your country. You can go and do whatever. And they're just like, listen, I'll leave this football and do cleaning job.
So did you finish up your contract at Sunshine?
Yeah. So what happened was I was getting frustrated with the politics side of things, and then in the end I just had to go. But they wouldn't let me go at first. They wouldn't let me go. They were doing everything but let me go. So I remember I got called up to camp a couple times by Stephen Keshi.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I noticed things changing.
How did that feel? Getting the call up to the Super Eagles?
It was good. It was. I remember my first time with them. I was actually back in London because it was off season, and Nigeria had a game against Italy in London, and then that was the first time I got called up to camp, and it was just like, I remember seeing Mikel, Emenike, Enyema, all the boys. Yeah, just, and it was just, I was like, wow, am I really here? But it got to the point where it was just normal, like, because home base, which I never even knew was a thing until I came here. Yeah. Home base I never knew. So when I first got called up to the home base squad, I was just like, oh, I've made it. I got to the camp. I didn't see any of the big boys. Yeah, I didn't see. I didn't see any of them. And I was like, what's going on? But it was good. It's funny because at the foundation match we just did, Yobo, Joseph Yobo was there, and then we were talking. And then he goes, I remember you. And then even that, like, to even have those connections still to this day is, it's good. And that's something no one can take away from me.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
No one can say they've actually done that.
It's a football mad country, and I always say that. I always feel really frustrated, and this is me being a fan of the Super Eagles, that when a player gets an opportunity to play for Nigeria, and I hear they're misbehaving or they come into camp late, I really get really mad. Why? Because it's a country where almost everyone could have been a footballer. Everyone could have played football. So when you get the opportunity to represent the country,
just like Brazil,
it has to be very important to you. Just like Brazil. I went to Brazil in 2014.
Oh, I love that.
Crazy country.
Yeah.
Like, those people,
they worship football.
Those people worship football. I was in Sao Paulo.
Do you think more than here?
Like,
you think so?
I think more than here.
I find Nigeria, I couldn't believe how
they are crazy about football. At the World Cup, the entire street was painted yellow. You couldn't go anywhere and not find the Brazilian.
Do you know what I think? I think I really hear what you're saying, in the sense that if we got some things right, I think Nigerians are actually as crazy.
Football crazy.
Because if you see how crazy Nigerians are with the club size that they support, if things were going well with the national team, we'll probably be as crazy for the national team.
But also, I'm sorry to cut you. Also, and this is another thing I've noticed, without saying too much, a lot of what comes out of the national team isn't true.
Is it true?
It's not true. So, you know, you get some of the things I've heard, but the players themselves do the management a big favor sometimes by not speaking on,
by not saying
on
anything.
a lot of things.
Course.
Like, and things are always happening where people look at the national team players as mad. So even like Ola Aina.
I know.
So during the AFCON, his final appearance wasn't
all that. Yeah.
But then he'll never come out and say how he was suffering with an injury and whatever. Do you get what I'm saying? But then they'll allow him to get crucified. Victor Osimhen just last month.
With what happened?
With what happened? But then, shall I say that one? I would.
You don't want to go there. You don't want to go. I mean, it's interesting now because in my mind I was thinking, should I ask him about the relationship, the dynamics of the relationship between. You know, you guys seen the recent Sunday Olise interview.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if you were around a little bit. Sunday Olise, Mikel Obi, and I don't know what is going on between these two guys, right?
No, I think
I don't know what's going on with Mikel.
Ever since Sunday Olise was a coach, they've been going back and forth with each other.
I don't know what.
Mikel went on the podcast and said, "Yeah, Olise was a very fantastic player during his playing days, but as a coach,
had no clue
what he was doing." And then Olise had. You know, an interview recently where he was explaining what happened. So I was thinking in my mind, should I ask him about, you know, if you were in and around, you know, the Super Eagles at the time?
To be honest, I've never actually known of any problem until all of this stuff come out. I think what we don't give players enough credit for is how professional they actually are in the moment. So it's very rare that you will see a player turn down a chance to play for Nigeria.
Yeah.
You know, or even with, you know, let me just say allegedly what I'm about to say, with Victor Osimhen saying he didn't want to play, you know, because he was injured, but you know, some might say he might have, you know, told the manager that he was okay to play, allegedly. So, but yeah, like there's just always these things that come out, and when players do speak, it's almost as if to say, nah, you're chatting rubbish.
You're lying.
You're the problem. Do you get what I'm saying? Especially when you're talking about a legend like Sunday Olise. Do you get what I'm saying?
Like Sunday Olise. Yeah, I totally agree with you. You know
so
what? I
Mikel
look forward
saying
to the day.
is the worst manager he's played under.
See, but there's also emotion in that.
Of course,
there's also,
there is.
and also you have to understand the manager this guy's played under.
Yeah.
So when you've played under Jose Mourinho and them people,
I look forward to the day where, you know, footballers, maybe ex-footballers, I can understand, you know, you're still playing the game, you can't say much about your manager, you know, but I look forward to the day where ex-footballers can come, you know, on a show like this and tell us exactly what actually happened.
No, a lot of them rather die with that.
Because it's really what is
Why
really going on between Olise and Mikel is I think it's going a lot deeper than, you know, I first thought, because now Olise is saying he needs help, you know, Mikel needs help, you know, he's talking about this, talking about that. But away from all of that, we're still going to come back. And
okay, wait, before you do, I've got a question for you now.
Yeah.
So you said you can't wait for the day where a past player will, like, what's stopping them from coming here? Then?
I think it's the relationship with the current players. You know, it's not as if being an ex-footballer makes you leave the whole scene. Just look at let me use this guy for example, Odion Igalo. You know, on the Instagram live with Victor Osimhen, he was still under the, you know, post saying that boy stop this life. So in the end, you see these ex-internationals, when they come out, they still want to protect the players who are still young in the national team.
And I think, like you said as well, because they still have their hands in some of the things happening.
Yeah, you get
there, so they still don't want to break some
unless maybe, you know, when maybe on dying bed, maybe they tell you have 2 hours to leave, and you really don't have any choice again.
I mean, Osimhen got a lot of stick for what he did with the life. What's your perspective?
And rightfully so.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, what's your perspective on, you know, what Osimhen chose to do and how he addressed the situation?
Okay, so I think when you've had enough, you've had enough.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you know the truth,
yeah,
especially with the backlash he was getting, and you know, and from what I know of him, he's a very principled person who will never turn down like
the chance to play.
Playing. So when someone comes out and says that to you, especially when things already, the team is not even performing well, and you know they're drawing here, losing there. Like, I think it got to the point where he just had enough. Would I have done it like that with his platform?
Yeah,
probably not. But at the end of the day, if that's his way of getting it out,
the statement wasn't true in the end.
Yeah.
Which
That's
one?
a sad thing.
The statement
but
from
the statement was not confirmed to be untrue.
Which
it
one?
was not confirmed that Finidi said what.
But there was nowhere. Now this is it. You said someone said something.
Yeah.
Talk.
Just like in court.
No, do you know what?
No. Don't worry.
Just like in court.
Yeah.
You got a very competent hand.
If you say something, if you say that you have said something, show me.
Yeah.
If you cannot show proof,
Yeah.
it's still saying that.
So here's what I know. So
I've not seen a video. I've not seen anywhere where he said something.
So here's what I know.
But
the moment this thing came out, you understand? The moment this thing came out, right? That Finidi said this.
You don't write us up already.
No, made them further write us up. You know, the moment this thing came out, right? And they said,
"Man, the NFF president will just come. I want to be on this table."
I mean, they said Finidi said, you know, I can't bear Osimhen to play. You know, something like that. The moment I saw that, yeah, it wasn't a coach's statement. I didn't see anywhere where Finidi was sitting and he actually said that. But what I believe is, you know, for Victor to come and do that live. Now, I'm not agreeing with the way he handled it. I am saying that you are saying, oh, what Finidi didn't say that now. No, it wasn't proven that Finidi said it.
Yeah.
But actually, behind the scenes, Victor go down hear this thing when you go down enter in ear. You might not have seen the proof that Finidi said it, but he has gotten the proof that Finidi actually said something. So it might have been from somebody to somebody to somebody, and he heard it, and he's like, "Yo, why is everybody blaming me when I didn't even play the game?" You understand me? So even though we didn't get confirmation that Finidi actually said that made that statement, it doesn't mean that, you know, Osimhen didn't get the same confirmation.
But possible. So we don't know this. We don't know. But his reaction could have been a lot better.
Did I speak your mind?
Could have been
Obviously
better.
not.
Okay, what I will say, is that around the time when all of this was happening, the foundation match was happening.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's in the same place. In Uyo. So the camp was already underway.
Yeah.
Osimhen was supposed to play at Will.
Yeah, at the.
He was meant to play there.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Okay.
He then. Okay. So he's in Lagos. And initially he wasn't gonna play. All of a sudden now he's like, I'll happily play.
Yeah.
Why would he now find himself in Uyo?
Yeah. If he wasn't, yeah.
So that's do you get what I'm trying to say?
I get you totally.
So if he's planning on going there, and then all of a sudden now he's not gonna be there now, something has changed. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna leave it as that. But yeah. So and I think sometimes that it would be nice if people could see proof.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? But we also don't know if someone after he come off that live just said, listen, just leave it, because it wasn't too long after that live where Finidi got sacked, right?
No, he
Yeah,
did.
he
resigned.
resigned.
Yeah,
I think for a lot of people,
After this, when we finish, we'll talk properly.
Yeah.
We'll talk properly.
I think for a lot of people, the challenge a lot of people had was
why you see your teeth?
The very mischievous guy. Don't mind.
very mischievous guy.
I just
Very
the reason.
mischievous guy.
And the reason a lot of things. now waiting media put out, now you go read.
No, I mean, I think the challenge a lot of people had was, you know, African Player of the Year. You should have a better front. You know, there are a lot of big European clubs looking at you. They probably won't like, you know, that kind of outburst.
And they won't actually. You know, Ivan Toney, for instance. You know, Ivan Toney. It looked like Arteta was favouring him. He looked like he really wanted.
Interviews.
Yeah.
He comes back from the ban. It's just been nasty.
But why has it been nasty though?
Yeah, it's been nasty.
He just answered a few questions about, you know, would you like to move or not?
No, you don't.
If you listen to football
club,
people, you know, people around football in the Premier League, they'll tell you Thomas Frank is one of the nicest guy you can meet. You know, if you see what he puts out, you know, the guy is a nice guy.
Yeah.
If Thomas Frank is putting you out of the team, then there's something you're doing that is not right.
Let's get your perspective on,
You know, this
on
thing
what
you
he
said.
just
Hold
said.
on,
So essentially,
sorry, this thing you said, even Frank said it that if he finds himself on the bench, he knows there's a problem. Like personally. So
from what you think about? I mean, off of the 6 months ban, Ivan Toney basically would he came back, did a few interview, and as a football player, when you go through something like that, there was an interview that I had. I can't remember the name of the show. It's one of my favorite podcasts on YouTube.
My guys.
The fair guy, is it fair? I can't remember the name of the show. He's interviewed Frank Lampard, Thierry Henry.
Oh, it's not the one. No.
I can't remember the name of the podcast. But Stephen, yeah, I think.
Diary of a CEO.
Diary of a CEO. The guy does really good interviews, and he just wanted to get his thoughts on the journey of being a professional footballer at that level and getting banned for 6 months and all of that. Naturally, the question would come up: where do you want to go from here? So do you think, okay, you're a Brentford player, you've been asked the question, where do you want to go from here? Coming back from a 6 months ban, do you think it was improper to say what for Ivan Toney to say, look, I'm looking to make a big money move or to move to a bigger team, from here?
I think, and it's interesting you say that because this is one of the things that I battle with.
Yeah.
Being in England and having some of these players on, is that players are not allowed to be as expressive as they should be. So if you look at America, the basketball players, American football players, they say what they
everything.
Like. They say, and sometimes
different system entirely.
and sometimes they say things that everybody knows. Ivan Toney is probably one of the, and this is, I've not had any conversation with him. Ivan Toney is probably one of the hottest strikers right now, or at the time. At the time, ready for a move. He's having interviews. They're asking him questions. We all know a big money move is on the table. We all know that he would love that. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying it.
We're saying it, yeah.
I think there's a way you need to do it. If you now start looking like you're touting yourself out, that's when there's a problem. I don't think we should be doing the whole, I want to go here, I want to go there, But if you say, look, I want a big money move, I want to, better myself and play at the highest level, I don't think there's a problem with that. Do you know what I'm saying? And I think as well, we also have to remember, we cannot imagine the level that these players are on. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So someone like Ivan Toney, who's probably on however many thousands a week, do you know what I mean? He's got this option, that option. He's got this PR person, that marketing person.
Yeah.
Like, they're brands. They're not footballers anymore.
They're brands.
They're brands. So now it's such a big thing that you have to put yourself out there, because we don't even know. In fact, I do know that whole betting scandal thing, or the betting thing, it might have potentially might killed some moves for him, killed money for him.
Absolutely.
So now he's got to recover that. Do you
yeah.
get what I'm saying? Now he's got to put himself out there to maybe get that
something,
move.
to get the buzz again.
Because if you're someone like Arsenal don't look at players with history of, do you know what I mean? Like, they're a very clean cut company. So we don't know if someone's told him, look,
you will need to do this to get the buzz around you again. So
you see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But overall,
that's another angle.
But overall, I do feel like we should definitely
good angle, actually.
Just a few questions before we move to Euros. I don't know if you guys have one.
Yeah,
you mentioned, coming to Sunshine Stars, the advantage you had over these people, even though they had really good individual natural talent, was you've been coached, and that was absent. So if you look at the Nigerian league now, Nigerian football, even with grassroots football, what's the where do we need to go in that regard? Coaching, how do we to improve that? I mean, I have my thoughts about it, but coming from where you are coming from, what do you think needs to be done here?
Investment.
Okay.
Investment. So America, MLS, they've invested heavily over the last 10 years into grassroots football, into coaching, and we're seeing the reward.
It's coming out now.
Yeah, you can see what it's done. I think if they just do that here, because the thing is, a lot of people they invest in order to get the talent. Nigeria already has the talent.
Yeah.
So
fact,
they've already got the talent. So if you just invest in the coaching, get proper coaches in, and or give them the tools needed to, then that will go a long way. But it also takes time, and I don't know.
So you said getting proper coach. So let's talk about the Super Eagles. And there's this belief that I think foreign coach would do better in terms of results, deliveries when it comes to tournaments and, let's say, AFCON, the World Cup. Finidi George, would you have ever thought that he was going to be the coach of Super Eagles at some point.
Would I have thought that?
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you think it was good enough?
Oh, do I think he was good enough? No, that's me being honest, and that's not with any relationships or anything like. And I say that because if you look at the results, if you look at how
clearly
the team,
it's not good enough.
Yeah, if you look at how the team were playing, if you look at certain starting lineups that were happening,
But it was only 2 games.
Yeah.
I hear that, but you know, you look at the way they're playing, they should not be losing in that manner. I'm not even against losing; it's in that manner, especially off the back of what we saw in
the AFCON.
in AFCON. Do you know what I mean? When you're looking at starting lineups, and I'm looking at one of the a striker playing in one of Europe's top league, gone unbeaten the whole season, and he's on the bench. Like, why is Victor Boniface?
Said he wasn't ready to play. That's what he said. He said he wasn't.
That's what
ready.
the coach said.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
And you know, after the game in New York against South Africa, and if we play that game 10 times out of 10, I probably think South Africa beat us 7 times out of 10. Because that South African team,
Because we weren't good.
we're not good enough. You know, that South African team, and because they play a lot with themselves, most of them play in the South African league. The greater number of the South African team these days, you know, if you have 11 players, you more or less find 5-6 players from Mamelodi Sundowns. They've got the best coach on the African continent. And
He's left now, I heard.
Yeah.
Rulani
Rulani
Mokwena,
has left.
top guy. You know, when you see his teams play, how progressive they play, the intentionality they play with, you know that this guy knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
We did a show on at the Nations
But
Cup.
Finidi won the league with him, but
Baba, stop that.
Stop.
and they were quite good.
Stop.
No.
Are you a bloody hipster?
No, they
No.
Well, I know where bandana.
Wait.
I know where bandana.
You know, I always say these things. You know, I always say I follow the PSL a lot, and this players, Tembers one is 34.
Yep.
Was running rings around our midfielders.
Percy Tau.
You know, these are players who have come through that Mamelodi Sundowns system. You know, from Pitso, Osimhen, top. They are not in terms of talent. They are here. We are here. But the level of coaching, you know, those guys, you know, they have some of the bright young coaches. You know, Pitso Osimhen at the time was the biggest, highest earning African coach. You know, in the continent. You know. Rulani Mokwena earning top box with Sundowns and all that. So the quality of the coaching.
But if you don't do the right thing from the beginning, like I'm talking about even in terms of team selection.
Yeah.
So me as an outsider, as a fan, I looked at AFCON and it gave us, if anything, it gave us something to build on.
Yeah.
It gave us something to build on. So you've got the core, and now it's up to whoever comes in to build on that.
It was quite surprising because you're a new manager. You're trying to win. And then you've got the guy who was
I think you were going somewhere.
Okay, let me say what this guy said on this podcast.
Yeah.
So Will Truth was on this podcast, and he even said, you know, if the manager wants him to play, he'll play. He's fit and whatever. But you leave.
Does that mean he was fit enough to play?
That's what he said.
He said it. He was fit enough to play.
He said it was good to play. That's what he said.
And listen, I can say now, if Will says he's fit enough to play,
he's fit
enough to play. Do you understand? And if you communicate that to the manager, and the manager still wants to leave you out, and not even put you in and amongst the team, already you're like, okay, what's going on?
Do you know what was the most surprising thing to me?
Wow.
Even when you go to Europe, and a new coach comes in, you know, with the club sides, you have more time with the players. You're with them almost every day. You train. You have a lot of time with them. New coaches tend to not change too much too quick because they know that they need to win, especially when you go to the top sides. They know that they
except
need to win
Pep Guardiola.
I mean,
if you have capital,
if you have capital,
you know, if you have capital,
now. So when you come in as Finidi George,
even at that, at that, you don't just go out. You don't go into a new club and uproot the structures. You know,
exactly.
Take out the spine.
It was a bit surprising for me that as Finidi George,
I'm
you came
very
in.
Surprised that Trusecon was fit enough to play.
You came in. You know,
he said that here, right? I'm not making it up.
Yeah, he did.
That was flown over my head.
He did. No, he did. Now that was the part where he mentioned he came back, he was fit, and he didn't play a lot of games for his club, but he could understand that these guys were already playing, all through the season before he came back. He said it here.
But can I come
he
in?
was fit.
But can I come
I was going somewhere.
Wow.
The point is, like you said, the AFCON showed us that it was something to build up. If you come in as Finidi George, you're a legend here. You know how important it is, and you know how how much pressure is on you as well. The moment you come in, you know how important you must win. We didn't qualify to the last World Cup. You had just a game to prove yourself, just one. If you lose,
but
that's the reality.
Yeah.
If you lose that next game, you're in trouble. And so when you come in like that and you have too many changes, and the first game didn't go, as well. The second game, you ring a few changes again. I'm beginning to look, when you make those kind of big decisions, you better win the game.
There's something Osimhen said that I found very disturbing. In that live video, Osimhen said, there was a time he asked Finidi, can I come to the camp?
And be with the boys.
Just be with the boys. I found that very disturbing. A player is offering, I'm not doing anything. Can I come and be with the boys? Hell, and Osimhen, for all we see, is an energy guard. You could see the kind of energy he exudes. Osimhen was one of our better players at the AFCON. He scored only one goal, but he was one. Every game we played at the AFCON, he was, he was the leader. And the manager says, "Go and be with your family."
Manager is being nice.
Another school.
That's what I chose. That's what I chose.
Now this is it. Another school of thought, because in the end,
not the only school of thought.
I've noticed you like
don't
to
know university.
always be on the.
No.
He's an industry man.
No. In the end,
an industry man.
Let me say something, because
He's the devil's advocate.
because I actually feel that when you have this personality. When you know you're a big figure, you're a brand, whatever coach that comes into the national team would always respect you.
You're talking Osimhen now.
Trust and Osimhen.
Okay.
I think you don't have to call the manager that, can I come and support them? If Osimhen if Osimhen should go to the camp,
you walk him out. They know people for
They can walk him out.
They cannot.
No, they can walk him out. They can walk him out. You're not part of the squad.
They cannot.
You just carry your leg. So are you kidding me?
Now,
exactly.
Now this is it. No, you don't get that. Not that I will go and stay with them in camp.
He would go and do what?
Just like a visit.
So
guys.
IBK,
they cannot.
IBK, it sounds.
This is another one.
It sounds. What you just said sounds very good, but the guy making a call to the coach to say, "Can I come in?"
In a professional space,
is the very best thing to do.
It's in a professional space.
Not can. It's like saying, "Coach,
IBK.
wait, hold on, Cinema." It's like,
even me, like
coach,
this,
how you doing now?
Don't
Coach,
come my house say, I'm
yeah,
in the neighborhood.
now,
I'll not open the door.
Coach, how you doing now,
I'll
Baba?
tell you now.
Baba, how
Don't
you doing now?
try.
Everything. Baba, I go try. I go show. Make I just come see boys. Make I just come motivate boys and all those things. Coach, say this is my leg. Never. Make I just. No, I'm just saying another school of thought. Now, for truth, the issue I had with that was that if Truth is fit, he is the captain of the side. I feel that there should be mutual respect between the coach and the captain. You tell the coach, I am fit and I'm ready to play.
You think he didn't tell him that?
I don't want to, because it didn't really come out straight. So I don't want to.
So
I don't want to believe. I don't.
You're saying Truth said here on the Inside podcast.
It's more like It's more like wait, hold on. It's more like Truth waiting. It's more like Truth waiting for the coach.
I got data.
It's more like Truth waiting for the coach to call or to tell him whatever to do. Like, oh, okay, are you fit? You can come. I feel that it's more of Truth telling the coach that, coach, I am fit and I have to be there. Because he's the captain of the side.
I said it jokingly, but it's something
because he's the captain of the side.
I take serious exception to. Don't come to my house uninvited, whoever you are.
Of course, it's courtesy. Nobody, you can't walk.
I hate. I mean, the neighborhood. I just said, let me stop by. Don't do it to me.
No, you know what? It doesn't work like that. And I think as well, yeah.
Until I won't surprise you with
as much as
brand new car.
As much as they're top players.
Yeah.
like they're still part of a football team. Manager, and it's still a professional space. Do you get what I'm saying? So, and if a manager said you're not in the squad,
you're not in the squad.
You're not gonna, especially when there's so many places in the world you could be. You know what I mean? You're not gonna go out your way to be. It's just like, okay, cool. I'm not in the squad.
Exactly.
So
I'm putting that call through is even like a sign of respect.
Yeah, of course it is.
Saying, I'm offering. I'm letting you know you're the one in charge. Do you allow this?
No, I'm saying as a captain.
Oh, yeah, okay. So we'll talk about Will now. Okay.
Yeah, as a captain, there should be relationship that I am fit and I have to play.
And you have to play.
We have to move.
I think captains are also they are leaders in that team. So captains can.
But at the same time, what I will say is that if Will has said it here, Will he's not silly. He will not say it on this podcast without saying it to a manager. So if he said it to the manager, and the manager has taken the stance of, look, okay, we don't know if he then said in a couple games time you'll be back in, but for now, blah blah blah. But once he said, this is what I'm doing, then what can you do?
But before we talk about the Euros, Finidi's contract, NPFL has not said he's resigned. Is there any statement concerning that?
About who resigning?
Finidi.
But
over that, he's gone.
He's gone.
We're going to talk about
he's taking a new job.
We're going to talk about
I'm just saying.
The Euros. Yeah. Just before we wrap, we're going to talk about the Euros. And obviously you have a bit of skin. You have a skin in the game, even though you're a son of the soil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't support England.
No, I mean I'm just saying like your thoughts about. I saw a clip from your podcast where you mentioned something about it feels like the English players are in a no-win situation. It feels like
that clip
it feels like doesn't matter what they do. Or Gareth Southgate, for example, is like in a no-win situation. If he picks this person, they don't win. Somebody says, "Why didn't he pick that person?"
That's me doing advocate. that's don't mind me sometimes. No.
So you're saying it's not good enough to be England manager?
In fact, do you want to hear me or do you want to go first?
No, go please.
Okay, so I don't think he's good enough.
You live closer to these people.
I don't think he's good enough to be the England manager at all. And that's more to do with, again, he's not brave enough.
Yep. Yeah.
I feel like with the players he has at his disposal,
absolutely,
he's too safe. He makes incorrect decisions. I feel like he's very he manages with sentiment. So with him, I already know before the match which substitution he's going to make. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He has his favourites, and we've seen it over the years with Jack Grealish. He didn't like Jack Grealish at first. Maddison, he didn't want to put him in. Gordon is only there because people were saying take Gordon. So he's got his favourites, and when you're watching matches, and no matter who they're playing, England should show that we have some of the best players on there. But he'll always, no matter what, play 2 6s. And that's the thing that really gets him. He's not. His thing is, don't lose, as opposed to let's go and win.
But it has worked for him.
I've always felt like
I've always felt like he's been to the finals of Euros. He's been to the semi-finals of World Cup.
We're not going to do that. No. I'm coming. No. Okay. So hear this now.
In recent years, he's been the most successful England manager.
Okay, but hear this.
He's been there for 6 years.
Okay, but hear what I'm saying to you.
So what else?
Okay, but hear what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
There's been nobody, no team, because you get to the final, you get to semi-final. Cool. There's been no team that's had the luck of a draw like England.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've had luck of a draw, and any time they've come up against any
big
team, any team that can cause them problems, they lose. Yeah. That final against Italy, England scored very early on. I knew they were still going to lose that game, because when you look at even Croatia, England should be beating Croatia in that semi-final before, and they lost because they don't have that know-how.
I'll give you his stats.
I don't even think they've even beaten
Southgate has been there for 6 years, right? He's played against teams in the top 10 FIFA ranking 24 times. When I saw these stats, I was amazed.
He's not won once or something.
He's played against teams in the top 10 FIFA ranking 24 times. All 6 years he's been there. He's won only once. Yeah, it's ridiculous. As England captain, as England manager, and I've always known that he's not. I've always thought that he's not good enough. Yeah. But where I think the last straw for me was that statement he made about Calvin Phillips.
Oh shit!
No, it was very silly, very flimsy. Maybe you shouldn't read too much meaning to that. But as England manager, that statement to me felt like, okay, all of these players, all these quality players, all these very good, whatever players, and you're talking about you don't have Calvin Phillips. Are you joking? Same Calvin Phillips that didn't play for a whole year.
But it's not just that. he's taken a left back. The only left back he's taken is not even fit.
Yeah, it's not fit.
And you know, I was thinking about it. I said, Luke Shaw was injured. Obviously, Harry Maguire was dropped because maybe the diagnosis they did, you know, showed he wasn't going to be fit in the tournament.
He's injured.
What was done on Luke Shaw? You know, how were they sure they were going to have him fit? What's his name? The Chelsea guy.
Reece James.
Chilwell was fit.
Yep.
You have Tyreek Mitchell.
Thank you very much.
Crystal
I'm
Palace.
so happy
Crystal
you said
Palace.
that. Tyreek
Yeah.
Mitchell.
Now you decide.
Had a very good season.
Now you
good
decide to
player.
take a Kieran Trippier, who, by the way, is a brilliant footballer.
But not that left back.
But he's not a left back. You know, you decide to take a right-footed player and limit him and put him in a left full-back position when you could have taken a left back, because a left back position isn't. And with Tyreek Mitchell, you know, I'm a fan of the young man. I don't think he's, you know, overly explosive, but it's a brilliant left back.
He's very disciplined.
Disciplined, knows his job.
He's a
If you give him a
consistent,
job,
consistent 7 out of 10.
you know,
He's a
you give
consistent
him a
7
job,
out of
he will do it. Going forward, it's not bad. So, one of the things that was said, I feel like it's the very thing that, you know, just doesn't sit well with me with Gareth Southgate is the lack of bravery. And as a manager, you have to be brave. You have to take some really hard decisions. I don't think Jude Bellingham and Phil Foden have to start, both of them.
Together.
If both of them have to start, one has to be further down the pitch in that midfield area and the other one up down the pitch.
We got about 10 minutes before we round up
So
the show.
if you're not playing Phil Foden in that number 10 role, and I always feel like in the past 1-2 years, he's been one of England's best players. If you're not playing Phil Foden in the hole behind the striker, Bellingham is a brilliant lad. You know, he put in that number 10 role.
Yeah, I don't think it works.
I don't think he
I
can
also
tie
don't think it
Phil
works.
Foden's shoelace.
But if I'm to ask you,
Gareth Southgate doesn't have the nerves. He's scared of what would people say?
No, if I'm to ask you, right? Because people would say it's common for everybody to say that's not working. That's not working. If you were in his shoes,
Unpopular opinion.
with every
Unpopular opinion. I think you take Kane out of the team.
Okay, what's the perfect starting 11 for
It's not been good
England tomorrow against Switzerland?
Against Switzerland.
Yeah.
In goal, Pickford. Right back,
Kyle.
it's Switzerland. Yeah, Kyle Walker. Centre back, I will put Gahey and.
Gay is out of the game.
I mean,
Gay
no,
is
not Gahey. Sorry, Stones.
So Lewis Dunk?
Stones, no. I like Lewis Dunk though. Stones and Konsa, I would do.
Okay.
And
I'll
who?
do.
Stones and Konsa.
Konsa.
Wow, that's interesting.
I'll put Ezri. I'll put Ezri.
Who's a better player? Konsa
Or Dunk.
Konsa. I think I'll pick.
No, do you know what? At international level, against the people that they're playing against, that's the only reason why. But I like Dunk.
Yeah,
Dunk is my guy. Yeah, I like Dunk. But I think in that game tomorrow, because he's got the ruggedness, he's got this. I think just
Brilliant Bolo.
Yeah, exactly. And Bolo will ruin Dunk.
Yeah,
So
I think so too.
left back very quickly. I'll pick left back Joe Gomez
Saka.
because I don't
Joe
know why.
Gomez at left back.
Yeah, because
I want to
he's
put
played
my
there for
boy in
Liverpool.
the left back position.
And then in the three in midfield, I'll just go brave. Rice, Bellingham, Foden.
Yeah.
That's what I do. And I'll put
Gordon.
Saka, Gordon, and
Kane.
Kane.
So 4-3-3 then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Palmer
yeah.
will sit on the bench.
Yeah. I've always thought, you know, I think he's setting up in a wrong way to be a possession team. I think with the quality of players that he has, he probably would do better, set him up and be a very quick transition team.
But do you know why he's killed himself? Because someone like Kane, Kane will get the ball, and where England have been best in the last couple of years, he gets the ball, the runners, Sterling, Rashford, Saka. So and Kane is not doing anything different to what he's doing. But now he's doing that. Foden's here, Bellingham's here. There's nobody.
Totally
Do you get what I'm saying? So when you said Kane should come at the team, I don't think it's a Kane problem.
I don't think it's a Kane problem too, and I don't think they have anybody that.
I just feel like you can try something different.
I don't think they have anybody that's a pure that can play as much as Kane.
Of course, you know,
that's their best player. Forget position. That's their best player.
You play Switzerland tomorrow, and Switzerland are very organized.
They're very good, very organized.
Very organized.
They can really pass the ball.
They can pass the ball, and they've got energy in that midfield area. And Xhaka is dominating games. Xhaka is dominating games. You know, so They will slow it down. They will take it to walking pace. So if you're going to do that's why I thought, if it's not working with Kane 60 minutes, bring on Ivan Toney and you go long. Try something different.
He will never do that. He will never do that. But the other part,
long footballer.
No, it's Southgate because I'm just thinking that the last game he brought him on with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
The other thing would be, we're gonna go predictions very soon. But also that conversation around Portugal, Ronaldo, Roberto Martinez, it's the same conversation around Roberto Martinez probably not managing the team as effectively as he should, right? It's been, Ronaldo he should be out of the team. Pepe should be out of the team. I think it's nonsense, personally.
People are mad.
Okay.
They're mad. I'll tell you why they're mad. Because what people do with Ronaldo, they look at Ronaldo of here. Ronaldo here is still better
than
Ramos.
Yeah.
So you want to put Ramos there, and if Ronaldo scores with one of the chances he has in his last game, people,
of course,
people keep it shut. What I will say is that Martinez is scared to take Ronaldo off.
He's
scared to take Ronaldo.
I think he shouldn't be playing 120 minutes. I think you have Felix, you have Ramos. These are
Jota.
Yeah.
I mean, even, do you know how
Felix called.
Do you know how I confirm? No,
but
you're gonna play Jota before you think of Felix.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know how I confirmed Roberto Martinez is scared to take this guy out? In the last game against Slovenia, he took out what's his name? Rafael Leao.
Yeah.
And Leao was having a good game.
Leao was having a good game, and I'm thinking.
And Conceição, I don't even like him.
It doesn't matter how good you are. The guy is too small.
See, Messi, just like Messi. I was reading the game.
Somebody must.
No. The game. Yeah. The game against. The issue is that's what I'm saying. The game against Ecuador, Messi was obviously not fit.
Not fit or having a bad
so
game.
It was no. It was. I'm telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you. The run up to the game.
Yeah.
So the coach was like, the coaching crew were like,
you spoke with the medical team.
They think they need to. No, there are statements out there now. They will need to ask Messi if he wants to start or not. They will need to ask Messi the number of minutes he wants to play.
And I think it's interesting. I tell people this thing all the time. And people try to make it seem like it's out of this world. You don't treat this thing
Messi
about
Ronaldo,
you treat
they don't pass
players the same.
They don't pass footballers.
It's not true.
Listen,
and the funny thing is that
they don't pass footballers.
With Ronaldo in this tournament, I don't think Ronaldo, he hasn't scored, but he hasn't been bad.
Yeah, but he's very good. To be honest,
he hasn't been bad because he's still making. Because for me, as a centre forward,
if you're not
making runs, if you're not creating opportunities for yourself, you're not. He's had an assist.
Saliba don't enter him tomorrow. I mean today.
That's my guy. See that one? That's
Saliba.
Saliba Ronaldo.
That's my guy. And I don't think he's even Arsenal's best centre back.
Saliba Ronaldo.
Who's Arsenal's best centre back?
Gabriel.
No. I think
no. Saliba has the highest ceiling. He's got the highest ceiling. But you see Gabriel, I don't know what it is why he does not get plaudits. Because Gabriel,
I think Gabriel is error prone. That's what I don't
know. He doesn't get the reason.
He's error prone.
I said.
But so is Saliba.
No. I think Gabriel is more error prone.
Last season,
I think Gabriel is more error prone
than Gabriel.
Saliba is error prone, you know. But
the
thing is, Saliba, and I'll wrap this up very quickly. Saliba will make a mistake. He'll recover it in the best way, but he should never have been in that position. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas Gabriel, when you look at us, okay, Gabriel, when you look at, I say us because it's Arsenal. When you look at Arsenal, Saliba needs Gabriel to.
Of course,
well, they need each other.
They need each other, exactly.
But Gabriel
but Saliba and Upamecano's combination this tournament.
God. Are you an Arsenal fan?
Yeah.
It's been good, but he could have been better. He could have been better.
Oh wow!
I think Konate is a better player than Upamecano.
No, but their pairing has been very good.
I don't understand if Didier Deschamps knew.
Sinelma, relax. They're showing you something. Yeah, season ticket
for Arsenal.
Yeah, they're showing you something. You come here
and
be chatting every day.
They don't say AC journalist. AC journalist.
That was flashing in this camera, please. AC no sit in AC room.
Wearing bandana.
Wearing bandana. Bloody hipster. No, I love it. I think you know, from what happened on Sunday, you know, we're gonna try our best to always everything we
can
say
we
on this
can,
podcast,
can we quickly just a little conversation? I saw it on your page, and I thought your thoughts were very solid.
Yeah.
You know, about the AFCON. You know, I thought the AFCON last year was this year. It's one of the most exciting things I've seen this year. You know, it was the energy was good. You know, everything was good. Publicity still not.
I think very quickly, just to wrap this one up again. What we saw from the AFCON had everything, but because it's not the Euros and because it is Africa, it's spoken about in different ways. Yeah. And I'm talking about everything. The crowds, we're talking about refereeing, we're talking about goals, the quality of matches. The Euros now, the quality hasn't. The big boys have not. They've been under. When we think of how good it's been, it's all the lesser teams. We're talking about Turkey the other day.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Even
Austria before.
Yeah,
Turkey
do you
beat
get what I'm saying? Even Georgia.
Yeah.
It's the smaller teams, but the big boys haven't. Get me? So yeah, the AFCON's definitely been better, and hopefully, you know, people put more respect on it. Hopefully next year as well. Yeah. You know, it's even bigger. It gets better.
I mean, let's take predictions. Actually, before predictions, what's next for you in terms of, obviously your podcast now, that's going well. Sometimes you pop into the country, do a few things. You know, do you want to maybe intimate us on, you know, those things you're looking to do?
Yeah, so I think for me, it's just about being as big as possible and putting the best content out there. Yeah. I think with football podcasts, a lot of people, my whole thing is to bridge the gap between players and fans. So that's why I get the players on to talk real, none of this robotic stuff. Yeah. When it comes to Nigeria now, I'm trying to really just push what I've got over there, over here as well. So collaborate with guys like you and you know, even though when it comes to TV and stuff like that, there's like, why are we not there? Exactly. Do you get what I'm saying? Exactly. So it's that presenting, podcasting, just, you know, doing more and more and more. Yeah. In England, I do like live shows where I get people coming down, seeing the players, interviewing. Yeah. So I'm going to do something like that over here in the future. Hopefully you guys will come down and
definitely. Yeah, anytime. Final question: where did the Dapo CEO? Where did that come from?
Oh, way back when Facebook was out, I just didn't want people knowing it was me, and I didn't want my surname there, so I didn't want people to know it was me. So then I just put Dapo CEO, and then everyone just CEO. But yeah, that's literally it. It's nothing. It's nothing.
Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
No, thank you a lot for having me, man. Thank you.
It's been a great chat.
England, Switzerland tomorrow. I strongly, you remember I told you guys on the Zoom call. I said Switzerland was going to beat Italy.
You did.
I think they're going to do the same thing to England. The difference here, though, I think
they
have played Italy. I think because the English boys, you know, talented players, you know, they have that. But in terms of organization and how they play, I think Switzerland are going to have a better game. They're probably going to play England out to the park. I think I see that. And who knows? Possibly they take their chances.
I think Switzerland will do it. I think Switzerland will do
it. You think so? I just feel like England just have
individual
brilliance. Yeah.
An X factor. You know, they just maybe Foden, maybe Saka, maybe Bellingham. Just one of them can pull something out. Yeah. That's what I just feel. But in terms of as a collective, England have been absolutely shocking.
Oh yeah.
They've been shocking. You know, as a team, I watch England games and I'm almost dozing off.
I'm seeing them in the finals already.
England. Yeah. You think they're gonna go to the finals?
They play.
All right, interesting. The last time this guy gave us a prediction, it was the Champions League final. He made it. He took about the length of a feature film before he gave us his prediction, and it was woeful. It was the
your uncle.
It was the worst. I was the closest though. I predicted 3-1 Madrid. You guys were J1 underdog straight. Underdog what?
Listen.
Get out of here. Underdog what?
Thank you for having me though, guys.
Yeah. Netherlands, Turkey. We're not gonna forget them.
Oh yeah, sugar. Netherlands.
Netherlands. Yeah. End of the road for Turkey.
And Cody Gakpo.
He's been good.
I beg, let's talk about this penalty issue between Bellingham and what was this Turkey defender's name?
We don't have that time anymore.
No, I'm just surprised.
Demiral, he's been suspended for 2 games.
I don't understand why one has
it's favoritism. It's favoritism. That's it.
I'll tell you. I don't know about you guys. I think that's an interesting debut on the Hindsight podcast.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me, man.
We definitely looking forward to you coming back.
Table of men.
Yeah, table of men.
And you survived it.
No, I mean, what do you expect?
But why are you now, Jack?
It's the son of the soil. It's a table of men. You know, I didn't expect anything less. Thank you so much. I thought it was interesting. You know, some really, really insightful thoughts as well. Looking forward to having you.
Yeah, man. Listen,
people come here and they bottle it.
No.
But so it was a good showing. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure, Dapo.
No, thank you so much for having me, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
absolutely. And guys, just before we leave, we thank you so much for everything you've been doing for us. The guys have been following, and the guys who called us bandana wearing hipsters.
Yeah.
You know, it's all love from this end.
Doing incredible work for the industry.
Absolutely, we appreciate you guys that are doing incredible work for the NPFL, for the Super Eagles, and you know. I mean, the only thing that I felt sad about was that senior man was part of the, bandana wearing hipsters. Are you serious?
And I can confirm everyone watching that they indeed have bandanas off camera.
Till next time, guys. For now, from all of us here, may the odds be in your favor. Bye for now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm a man that needs no introduction on this show. It remains the Inside Podcast. When it comes to talking sport, when it comes to talking football all around the world, you get the best information from this particular podcast. You can always join us online, on YouTube, on IG, anywhere online. You can always join. Even on Clubhouse, we're there for you to dish you the best information when it comes to sport all around the world. Stay tuned always.